looks. Welcome to your pedestrian. Some more midweek builds with me, seriously. We are continuing on with a set that we started building on Monday's stream. So here we have Ninjago City Gardens. This is one of the larger of the Ninjago sets from the sort of city line. Set number 71741, and the piece count is up in the 5,000s, 5,685 pieces, and then there's 22 figures. So last time out we made a decent start. We got the first kind of six sets of bags done, which got the foundation built. We then got the foundation all plated off. We got the water area all plated, and that has then been tiled as well. And we've got this little tree in, and then this platform which supports the next layer, the sort of walkway on the next layer. And then we've got the first of the sort of little huts here. So I'm not terribly familiar now with Ninjago, but my suspicions is this little hut here belongs to Ronan, who looks like one of the more interesting characters. He looks like a chancy bloke. There's a little hidden area underneath it too, where he has some little treasures kind of tucked away and hiding. So yeah, he's obviously an interesting character. So we're on to bag number 7 then, and actually starts off with our next minifigure. And here we have, I'm going to say May. I think this is May. Razka698. How you doing, mate? I'm really sorry, I don't understand what it is you're writing. But hi, how you doing? So yes, we've got May, I believe this minifigure is. So we're just even have a little look. Nothing terribly exciting about her. I think it's just standard Ninjago clothing here. So it's just like a little sort of martial art outfit here with her black belt. She has glasses and a wee bit of a wry smile there. And then on the back we're looking a bit disturbed, and a wee bit of printing on the rear of the torso as well there. And then she has long lavender hair, which is very pretty. So that's the latest minifigures. That's 4 minifigures we've got in total. We've also got this wee figure here, who's sitting just at the front of my desk. So he comes with it as well. He's an exclusive figure celebrating Ninjago anniversary, 10 years I think it was of Ninjago. So you get that golden wee minifigure then to celebrate 10 years of Ninjago. So that gets us kind of just back to the building then. So we're going to build the next little hut. I expect that it's going to sit on this little section here. They're quite nice, the huts. They're just little rectangular huts with a sort of maybe a 30 odd degree angle on it, just to make for a slightly more interesting shape, and then you get a wee bit of overhang then over the water as well. So I think it's nice. So again, I don't know how this little hut's going to look, but hopefully it sort of mirrors the one on the other side, and then we'll get this kind of nice sort of curved shape of the buildings coming around the foundation of the set. Yeah, let's crack on with the build anyway. Any Ninjago fans that are tuning in, make sure to say hi and educate me a little bit on Ninjago. I know nothing about it. Of course, the obligatory give the stream a wee thumbs up if you don't mind. Double tap that screen, hit the thumb icon, whatever it takes. It all helps, and I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just going to carry on building here now, and I'll just sort of talk through any wee interesting tidbits that I come across while I'm at it. You're maybe struggling not to. Okay. Alright, so that door opens in the west, I think it does. So the actual huts themselves are not terribly big. I guess we one here is like 8 studs by approximately 12 there and thereabout. Like I say, there's a really interesting sort of angle on the front of there that sort of extends it more on one side than it does on the other. So they're not huge. Given the lack of size, there is actually a surprising amount of detail in them. So they are actually very well done, regardless of lack of size. But obviously this is going to become more feature packed as it goes up, because there's multiple layers. How are you doing, Creations? How are you? Hope you're doing well. Good morning. So you're to the west of me then. Still we're into the afternoon where I'm at. Not far in. What? Almost half one. And Galaxy Kid says hi as well. Hi Galaxy Kid, how are you? Hope you're good. Have you guys any experience with Ninjago sets, or it's not a theme? Oh yuck, that's good. Unlucky man. I've been there. I've done that. I've slogged that out. It's gotta be done. It's gotta be done. Galaxy Kid, I'm really good, thank you. Yeah. I've all my little jobs done for today, so I'm just hanging out now and building some Legos. So life's good. Can't complain. Yeah, not really a clapper of Ninjago. I don't really know the theme terribly well. Oh, bro. 4 minutes, that's even worse. You guys must be, what are you like? East Coast, are you? I love that you still have time to check out a live stream. I know in the morning I just about have time to get up and get out of the house. I wouldn't have the time to be doing much else. Some neat little building techniques here using clips and then like the wee circular elements with like kind of the wee tiny bar on the top of them, with the hole in it. I kind of imagine them almost like as like an inkwell to put a quill into, and they clip into the bar upside down, which then gives you an anti-stud so that you can place a studded piece upside down, and then we get this nice little these two wee brackets then top and bottom that drain up on the side, and then that just happens to be the width then of a brick. And then on top of that, randomly we have, that's like 1/2 of a book element. like the rear part of the book. It's pretty neat. There are some very cool. So that's just, what's that creating? Just like a, I think it's creating like a little counter with a wee bit of sort of interesting detail. But, you know, what sets do you have? Do you collect anything in particular, or do you just pick up bits and pieces? How's that gonna work? Oh, it goes that way. Does it go that way? Okay. So we've got studs all over the place here in these builds. A lot of brackets being used to, you know, add studs on the side and studs on the top and things like that. And we just some of these jumpers in backwards, which again creates a nice sort of interesting pattern on the front side. It's quite cool. It does sort of flip around a bit, so I can't really apply too much pressure on it. And then that just goes in on top of there. Okay, and then you get that nice sort of white frame the whole way around. These yeah, these sort of midweek streams will probably start to dry up a little bit this time of the year. I take on a whole lot of extra work. So I'll probably definitely not be anywhere near as available. So my Lego building will probably slow down a little bit as well, which is unfortunate, but that's just life, isn't it? That's how I can afford all the Lego by working extra. So it's a necessary evil. Lining the 1x1 plates up, they're so pretty. Never, quite difficult to, you know, get perfectly straight on one another, especially when you don't have a solid surface to press it up against. There we go. But this is just some sort of a little shelving unit on the side here. I don't know exactly what this little store is as of yet. It'll probably make a little bit more sense once I get it built up. I'll understand a little bit better when we're building. But there's just some shelving up the side there with a few wee, I don't know if there's like wee jars and like a wee square container, maybe a little box or something. So I don't know if this is a little store or a little hut or what, just with it having this little sort of window on the side here and the little bench and counter and stuff, it very much gives the impression that it's going to be some sort of a little store, but we'll find out in due course as we get a bit further through the build. So we'll hopefully get a good bit done today. I'll skip that one section. Last time, like I said, we got through 6 bags in total, which was pretty well. 6 stages. I think there was a lot more than 6 bags, so in a lot of the stages there's multiple bags. So it goes up to 25, but there's the guts of, I don't know, maybe another 30 odd bags left there. I think it was near 50 bags in total, which is a lot of bags, a lot of Lego. Liam brick the bed. I love that name, man. How you doing? Hope you're good. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, folks, to double tap that screen and give us a wee thumbs up while you're while you're on it, it'd be greatly appreciated. Get the likes on and promote the channel, promote the content. Even if you don't think it overly interesting, it doesn't do any harm. That helps me. Oh, that's class, man. Good to hear. What's the story of the day? Where's that part go? No. It's all brown. It's kind of like something. I don't remember what it was. I was building something recently. What was the base actually? And it was all black plate, and it's sometimes very hard to locate some of the elements in the instructions whenever you place them, and they're all the same colour. So I was really struggling actually with the black. I'm having similar problems here with the brown. I don't know if this says something about me. Is my eyesight beginning to age? Liam, we're building Ninjago City Gardens. So it's one of the, the larger kind of Ninjago builds. This is the third in the series. One second, I've got the box in here. This bio. So it's a pretty darn epic set. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 layers of awesomeness. So we've only really kind of got started. You can probably see there, we've just got the base built up. So this follows on from the docks, which is up there. That's set up in the corner, which obviously followed on from the Ninjago City set. So this is the third. It's from 21. It retired 2 years ago, I want to say. It's very good. So yes, we're just working our way through that at the moment then. So I don't really know much about Ninjago, so you just have to excuse me. I don't really know the characters. I don't know a lot of the references. I don't know what sort of any of these things kind of pertain to or whatever. But you've got some Kraken value. Are they both boxed? Do you have a Ninjago City? Oh, the markets, as in, yes, I don't have the markets yet actually. I'm kind of running the gauntlet a wee bit on the markets, because last time out with Ninjago City Gardens, when it was coming up to retirement toward the end of the year, Lego had it discounted. I think at the time it was discounted with double points and great gift for purchases, which represented obviously an absolute bargain. So I'm kind of hoping that happens again. So I'm just waiting it out in the hope that they do sort of push it on sale just before it's retirement, and then I'll pick it up. Yeah, I absolutely must get it. Like I said, I'm taking a bit of a chance on it. My kind of backup is I don't think it's necessarily as popular as the previous one, so I don't think it's going to sort of speculate as much in the aftermarket. So if I do miss out on it, there's a local toy store that also stocks them, and they always have stock sort of beyond Lego retirement date. So I'll kind of chance my arm a little bit there, if it comes to it. I'm feeling that I'll just have to hit the secondary market, but like I said, I don't think I'm happy to buy it. I'm happy to buy it open and used. At least that way I'll actually build it. But yeah, hopefully I'm hoping that it goes on sale. Fingers crossed. It's not. I wouldn't often sort of take such a chance with a set, especially these bigger, sort of more pricey ones. I usually like to get them picked up while they're readily available, but I'm living on the edge here. This is a really small little building. I don't know how well you can kind of make it out there, but it's like 6 by 10 with just a little sort of bit protruding out here on these inverted curve or inverted sloped bricks. But both the doors open in. So I don't really know how I feel about that. I suppose it doesn't really hamper it too much. But even still, it just seems like an odd design. Oh, here I've missed a whole section of this. Oh, there's a whole bit that goes inside. My goodness. Did you order any of the new brickling sets? I did. Too many of them. The only one I didn't order actually was the castle one. I can't remember, the Wolfpack castle one. I can't remember what it's called now. I chose not to buy it in the end, but I did pick up every single other one, or have ordered every other one. I think it's a really, really good series, this one. Some sets that I'm really looking forward to, particularly looking forward to the art one. Oh, I can't remember what you call any of them now. Let's bring them up here very quickly. Oh, here, I have them up because I was looking at them earlier actually. So Bricklink Designer Program current series. Anyone that's not familiar with the Bricklink Designer Program, just while I'm talking about it. So this is a series run by Bricklink, which is now owned by Lego, and it's essentially a marketplace for Lego sellers. But they also now have a Bricklink Designer Program where users can, so every quarter, submit sets, and the sets then sort of go into the selection process, and then come in with 5 are picked to go to crowdfunding. So we're on Series 6 at the minute, and we've got 5 sets that are just on crowdfunding at the minute. There's 5 days and 6 hours remaining, and they are they're exceptional sets, all of them. They're reasonably pricey. I've got a few of them on the previous screen if you want to go back and have a look. They don't come with digital instructions, so that's obviously something to be very mindful of. But essentially, sets go live. They've kind of changed the format a little bit this year around. It used to be that the sets had a set limit of 30,000. I think it's 30,000. You are limited to 2 personally. It had to hit 3,000 pre-orders to meet the crowdfunding target, at which point it goes into production guaranteed. The amount produced would have then depended on how many it sold up to the limit of 30,000, but they've now gone with a slightly more dynamic approach where the more popular sets, I think they're happy to make more available. So they used to have little progress bars so you could see how things were progressing. That's not the case anymore. But they do sell out, and I think every single one of them has been funded this time around again, and they generally do. But essentially there's 5 sets available. So there's the Art Factory by Brickister, who actually designed that station, and it got through the Bricklink Designer Program. So it's £200, 200 Great British pounds. I'm not sure what the different currencies are. Then there's the Outlaw Forest Den by Brickhammer, which is the same price, £199.99 Great British pounds. There's a Gold Mine Expedition, which is like a sort of Wild West style gold mine. Really cool set. It's quite tall, absolutely chocker block full of detail. It's £269.99. There is the Off-Road Adventure by King Creations, who has won another one that came out in a previous series, which I do have. And this one is Off-Road Adventure, basically a little scene sort of in the mountains with a little brook sort of running through it, a little stream running through it. Then there's a 4x4, some mountain bikes or BMX bikes, whatever, and a tent. And it is actually compatible with the set that he released in the previous series, which was another sort of camping adventure style one with a caravan that does attach to the 4x4 in this set. And it's £69.99 British pounds. And then the last one is the Sequoia Tree Trail, which is £239.99 British pounds. And it's basically a scene within a forest with a couple of huge sequoia trees. They are enormous. They're so big. A little hut, and then a few details around it. So those sets are all currently available until they hit whatever their sold out limit is. It's not quite so visible anymore, so it's harder to make the call on them. But that's the current series anyway. There is a series 7 then, which so will be crowdfunding on February the 1st, and then Series 8 sets have been chosen as well, which is in June the 1st next year. And then we're currently in the process of voting for Series 9 sets. So I've done all my voting. I think there's 436 designs to choose from. That'll be whittled down to 5, so it's quite a big process of sort of refining that collection. But you know, it guarantees you some real quality at the back end of it. Oh, so you got the wolf then and the outdoor adventure set, thinking to pick up the tree trail. Yeah, like I said, I went for everything bar the wolf den, or the outlaw forest den. The other ones I can all see kind of somehow I'll be able to build in the milling out, I think, for the most part. The Wild West, the gold mine, I'm not so sure, but I can get creative there. I have an idea actually of how I can sort of make that work, I think. Yeah, I went through the Series 9 sets last night. It took a while because, as I was saying there's quite a few of them. There's some exceptional builds again. Some that I really like. It's cool train, a couple of cool trains actually. And a few other builds that I was taken by. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. Well, they're ages away really, but I'm looking forward to seeing what ones get selected anyway, because it's always exciting sort of to know what's coming. I'm also very aware of the fact that as a Series 4 will probably be shipping fairly soon. And I think I only got 2 from no, Series 4 has shipped. Series 5, I only got 2 from Series 4. The Series 5 will be shipping fairly soon, and I think I got every single one of them. So that's going to be really, really expensive. But there's some fantastic sets in that previous series as well. So I'm just waiting for my credit card to get hit by that one. But yeah, anyone that's not familiar with the Bricklink designer program, if you take yourself onto the Bricklink website, it does have its own section within the website, and you will be able to sort of get a bit more detail and understand the program and what it's about. It sort of originally started out as a sort of a secondary route for designers who submitted the Lego ideas and were unsuccessful, and Bricklink in its sort of old form, sort of pre-Lego ownership, had started a program where it put into production some of those sets, and then obviously it's grown and grown as time's gone by, and now it's a pretty significant quarterly process really. There's a lot of sets get submitted, there's a lot of sets get through, and there's a lot of money dropped. You generally find this stuff that Lego are not likely to produce themselves, so it just gives you, a nice range of alternative Lego sets that look amazing, but wouldn't necessarily meet the criteria for production by Lego themselves. So this must be a little shop. There's not a sticker to go on here, but as I alluded to in a previous video, I'm not placing the stickers on these sets. So this one is sticker number 44, and this might help me a little bit to understand what this particular shop is. So 44, okay, looks like a little steaming bowl. There is writing on it, so I'm actually going to translate this. So for anyone that's not aware, Ninjago has its own language. I don't know if it's its own language or if it is an actual language, but it has a language, but inside the manual, you have a translator so you can convert all the symbols into English. So all the stickers have the Ninjago language on them. So this one then has, so it's like a F O O D, food. Very good. So this is a little food establishment then. That's really all it's given away. Class. And it's a tiny little unit, but I think it's going to sit here. Maybe not, maybe like that actually. It's maybe going to, I don't know. so. Yeah, I think it's going to sit like that. With a wee area perched out over the water on this side, and then there's a little serving counter on the front here. So, but we'll crack on building, and we'll have a better look at it once it's finished. I built the minifig ball machine on the weekend. Very cool how the turning mechanism works. Yeah, I actually my wife actually got me that for my birthday, which is very unusual because family members don't often buy me Lego because I think for the most part they're concerned that I already have it. But she obviously heard me talking about it and said I wanted it, so she got me that for my birthday, but I haven't built it yet. I think for me I was more intrigued by the selection of figures that came with it, but it looks very cool. I do like that sort of mechanism and how the money goes in and you turn it and it actually works. And I think that's really cool. It just adds so much more to the set, you know, that it's not just mimicking a ball machine, but it's also got the sort of practicalities and functionality of one as well. You don't collect any of the Spaceman minifigures yourself, do you? For anyone just tuning in, folks, we're building the Ninjago City Gardens today. Or carrying on building it, rather. We're on the sort of back 7. We're about maybe a fifth of the way through the set, I would sort of estimate. So we're just very through the set. And I think the level of detail will just kind of ramp up as we go up into. It is packed full of sort of interest. So much colour as well, which is nice. Yeah, I sort of rather naively started to try and collect all the, you know, sort of different colour of minifigures in the classic Space Guile and what's this piece? Or where is this piece more like? Oh, I know where that is. I'm talking about it. Does that come out of here? It does. Okay. We have like an interesting wee piece here coming out of this bag of tools. And just make sure I got this the right way around. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, the way you get the wee, I don't know, I kind of almost describe it as a portafilter, if anyone's familiar with coffee. Yeah, it's the wee part that's like a portafilter, it's like a sort of stud with a small bar coming out the end of it. And this is like that, but it has bars at right angles, 2 bars at right angles. So that's pretty neat. Green, black, purple and grey. Ooh, I know I have the green one. I don't know if I have black, purple or grey, to be honest. I know some of them are very difficult to obtain. I'm not going to pay silly money to get them. To be honest, I have been collecting them and then just putting them away, so what I actually have is a mystery. There's another sticker going on the front side of this here. It's just a little menu board, but again, as with before, I'm not placing stickers on at this stage. Probably regret doing that because my gut feeling is I'm going to come back and do it all again at some point anyway. But I had decided early days, no stickers. I don't think it's necessarily going to take away from the set. You'll lose the details sort of up close, absolutely. But I don't think it's going to take too much away from the set. Yeah, I've got a few of the new ones from the Pick-a-Brick wall. And then I've been sort of trying to slowly pick up, you know, any colour of oxygen tank or helmet that comes out, you know, when I come across them, just in case. But like I said, I don't actually know what I have anymore. I really need to go through all the stuff and get it sorted and maybe create a wee display for them and kind of see where it's up to. Just was a prolific collector for a long time, and everything sort of just got bought and then put away into like a bag or a box. And yeah, will do, man. How are you there? Thank you very much for the chat there, really. Okay, this is a cool little build. So we've got like a wee. So this lady obviously, or whomever owns this little establishment, does all their cooking sort of right at the front here, on a wee counter at the front. So we've got a wee counter there with a couple of like a wee bowl and a pot and stuff going on to it. And then so earlier on we used the sort of bigger side of a book within this little hut. Actually, that's kind of it there. To create like a little sort of bench on one side. Now we're using the sort of front leaf of a book as just a little awning over the top of this little restaurant. It's very, very creative part usage. A wee satellite dish or something then going up here. You do find these sets are just absolutely packed full of details. That's kind of one of the real joys of them. What have we got here? So that's like that. Let me just make sure I'm putting this on correctly. Where are we here? So that goes like that. And this goes on like so. Okay, and then that just bends around and puts in something wrong here. Galaxy Hunter says, "Greeting, fellow Lego man. Hello, how are you? Hope you're doing good, man." Welcome to the stream. What are you building at the minute? Or what have you been building recently? Okay, I think that's all on now. I hope I haven't missed any parts. A load left over here, but I presume. Yeah, so it's just a wee bit of a roof section here at the end. Do have a lot of wee parts left over, but that sort of makes sense. Roof section then that clips on. It just sits in like so. Lovely. And that is the end of that little hut. So we'll just place that now. Just get these spare parts and stick them over the way. You get so many spare parts in these sets. You almost have like a whole inventory by the time you're done. Right, so there we go. That's the latest little hut built up then, so I'll bring up the camera that we can look at it in a bit more detail. We'll just give you a wee sort of 360. So there's the one side, that's the little book element I was talking about there that has been used, sort of flipped up to create a wee bench. Then we've got this wee sort of area here and a bit of a roof over the top, and then this is just the service side then. So like I said, there should be stickers there and there, but I haven't put the stickers on. Then inside, it's hard to see the detail. There's like a wee sink down there, some bits and pieces up here, and then a few more bits and pieces down in there. So, and then that just gets placed Oh, Lego King, Lloyd J. There's someone that knows his Ninjago a lot more than I do. And that just pops in here. There we go. And then you've got all the pipework is hidden in underneath that. I don't know if there's a little story to that. I can now see why the doors open inwards, because they wouldn't be able to open out because there is the start of stairs. Lloyd J. Kyan Zane. People ringing him off. I don't really know the characters terribly well. Is Ronan a baddie? Because we've got a Ronan in here, but he looks pretty scrupulous. Okay, on the bag number 8. So 2 bags in for this section. Yes, we've got a wee Nia. Got a Nia and a J sitting down here. I think, or is it? Yeah, Nia and J are got their little seat. First in underneath the tree at the front. And then we've got another character here in these bags. And I think he is Kaito. So Lego King, this set comes with a really cool map for we actually, I don't know if you can sort of make them out down to the front here, but it's the limited edition gold wood for celebrating the 10 years of Ninjago. It's very cool. Right, so another minifigure to build in here. So this guy is very smart looking in his suit. And we'll bring it over and let you have a look at him in a second. Oh, I love that hairpiece. Like slick back hair with just a wee kind of knot at the back. So yeah, not the most exciting of figures, just a little bit of printing on the body. Let's have a look. So here we have him. So he's got his nice suspenders on there, nice beige tie, red shirt. You can just see the suspenders to the rear there. And then 2 faces. So we've got this. He's got the nice little goatee with a wee bit of a smile there, and we're a bit more angry on this side. And then the hairpiece, quite cool actually. I'll pop it on. Take it off the board because it's black. So there you see that nice little sort of cut up ponytail at the back there. Looking cool. I'll just pop him down there alongside, who was that with the purple hair? May. Okay. And then we get on the building, so I think we're going up a layer now. So I think this will be the set, the building sits atop this one. Looks a little bit bigger, and it's got a really funky piece here. This kind of used as like a window to the side, so it's like something out of the Sanctum Sanctorum and that. That's Warhammer, right, Morgan? If it is Warhammer, I don't dislike it. I just have never been involved in it. I don't know a huge amount about it. I've played a few of the games on the Xbox, but beyond that, I've never really got involved. Lego's the only sort of thing that I get involved in that requires any sort of designing or painting or building or anything like that. dark brown here. It's not the easiest colour to kind of work your way through. It doesn't translate terribly well in the instructions against a black background. But we'll persevere. It's not that bad really. I think this is another little store that we're creating here. I'm not sure exactly what it relates to just yet, but we'll see. And then we're using a lot of 1x1 bricks here, stacked 4 high. I don't know, like there are better options than stacking these 4 high. I always really struggle with these little bricks because they're very, very hard to sort of line up. Super neat. That one's going to sit higher than the rest too. Okay. But it is what it is. I thought that it maybe used, you have like the 1x1 by sort of 3 bricks now, which are essentially, you know, three, and maybe even there's maybe 4 ones as well, which are essentially 4 tall. Or like these. So, you know, instead of using all the 1x1s, you could use one of those 1x1x3 bricks, but maybe they're not available in this colour, I don't know. Like I say, I just hate sort of trying to line them up. There's always like a wee bit of an edge. Okay. We've got more stickers here, but as with before, I will be resisting the urge to put the stickers on for now. Again, I presume these will, I know it's just a couple of pictures, I was thinking about maybe give you a bit of an idea as to what this store is for, but I think it's just sort of internal decor, and it's the same on the other side. So there's 4 little pictures are meant to go into this scene here, but I'm not putting them in at this point. Like I said, I might come back in the future and go through. Yeah, I might go through in the future and put all the stickers back on again, but I don't know whether or not. I'm not sure. I'll have to just see how it looks. Sometimes I generally find as well, once the set is built and I have it placed, very rare that I will go back, to be honest. Up those bricks. This actually looks lovely now when I see it all sort of coming together. And it does look so much better with the pictures, to be fair. It sort of just looks a little bit bare without. So it's basically just the way they're kind of the inverted tiles. Where the studs are on the underside, and the tile finishes on the rear, and I don't know what this is replicating, but there's like a little area with some teapots, there's a little sort of statue in the middle, and then there's like a set of 4 pictures, all nice sort of scenic pictures, you know, of trees and water and temples and stuff like that. So that's essentially how it looks without the stickers on. So you can just see it's a nice little shelf there with a few bits and pieces on it. So there's like a teapot and tea, and And then it's all kind of nicely framed off as well. But it just doesn't quite pop without the pictures, to be honest, but I'm not changing that. Wee window to go in there. Can't find that piece. Should be a second one of those little. Oh, there it is. It's like the 2x1 plates with like a wee sort of ledge running across them, so you can use them to run like doors sort of back and forth. It's just one of those. I've got a wee plant in on the inside. And that just goes on there. So some nice little details then on the inside of this building. Black, or is it dark brown? It's dark brown. And then we've got our door. This door is using one of the sort of big corner door frames. No, it's almost like, so it's like a little hallway section, and then this door obviously brings you through into the main section of the building, in the main room. There is, say the main section, like they're not big buildings, so it's a huge amount going on. Don't forget to throw us a wee like there, folks, if you're just joining. Give that screen a wee double tap there. Do me a solid. Very much appreciated. Love some of the sort of part usage in these sets used to create like the little roofs or the sort of awnings or the canopies and stuff like that. So here we're using it's like the 2x2 plate with the sort of round technicals, sort of the underside of them. I almost imagine using them, you know, for putting wheels into, for running on cars and stuff like that. And then it's just wee studs put into the, oh, I've done them the wrong way around, not fantastic. Yeah, just wee studs in that go in the end of them just to sort of cap off the hole. And just sort of, it just creates like a nice wee sort of ribbed roof effect. Let's put these bits on first in the order that they're actually telling me. doesn't clip into the end and into the hose. Just cap them off and it just really makes it look a wee bit more finished. And then this just clips onto, so we're just using those wee sort of ornate fence pieces, which have, excuse me, which have the bars running across them, and then the little roof has clips on the end, that just clips in then onto the bars of the, and then that can just fold down a little bit, can it? What have I done wrong here? Oh dear, I've put it in the wrong place. There we go. And then that can just tilt down, and like I say, you get that nicer little impression of a roof there. I could use something similar in one of the previous ones as well. I won't say the previous one, sorry, I mean one of the sort of previous of these Ninjago city style sets. Nice to get sort of the sections a bit more colour, like I said, it's challenging enough to see what you're doing with all this dark brown. It's such a dark colour in the print on the manuals, it's very hard to make out. Pieces here. I'm not following the instructions terribly well in this whole section. There we go. Say easy fixed, easy broken. It's quite flimsy this here at the minute. It's these sort of arch pieces that are in it at the minute, they're just kind of held together by a few plates here and there. There's another layer of tiles that's going to go on top, and that will just pull it all together a bit more. For the meantime, it's sort of very sort of prone to breaking underneath you. I think too, when all these ties go on up, just give that extra layer of tolerance. Alrighty, there we go. Just press that all down everywhere, make sure it's nice and secure. Right, so that's kind of that section finished, so we're just probably going to work on, again, these buildings are built with that little sort of corner section, so we just got some of the brackets with the studs on the side here, and we basically just build up with some hinges on the side here to sort of help us create that join. interesting wee section now. So this is where we're starting to build a piece for this section where this interesting piece comes in. So let's see what that becomes or how that looks. Big brown quarter circle pieces on. Clearly missed something. Oh yeah, that's the whole section. That's the whole section of the instructions. I was just wondering there because the whole side of this building was a sort of completed square and I still had a whole section that was open and I couldn't really understand why, but I've missed 2 pages of the instruction. And that would kind of do that, wouldn't it? There we go. And now our quarter circles have got something to adhere to the whole way around. And just all our hinges to go on. Building some sort of a crazy concoction here with a few of the wee, I don't know, even droid arms. They're like the droid arms, but they're slightly different. They're just like the wee sort of angular clips. I don't know what the best sort of word for them is. They then go into there, and that sort of allows you to open and close that window. Alright, so I'll bring us over so you can see it very good. So this is the side section then of the building that we're creating at the minute, and there you can see this window here opens right out, and it's just on these little, it's just a wee bar in there that these little are, well, I call them droid arms. They're similar droid arms. They clip on anyway. That closes over and secures in, and you get this sort of real cool piece on the side here. Very, very nearly finished this little section. I think that minifigure is meant to have a few accessories that I forgot to give him. We've got a mobile phone sitting here and a briefcase, and they are both his indeed. Very busy man. Mr. Business is Kaito. I'll just give him his suitcase and all. There we go. So that's him now with all his bits and pieces. Doing whatever it is he's doing. Okay, so we've one last little section to build in on this part of the build. which I would suspect will be the building that sits atop this side then. That would make complete sense if that was indeed the case. I think again it's another, it seems to be a lot kind of darker to the bottom, and then as the build goes up it starts to really brighten up and become a lot more interesting. So let's keep going. And then yeah, we just have the wee cheese wedges to go on, and they just basically help close the hole a little bit, because these are just going to be hinged on, and those wedge bits just sort of help to close that gap up a little bit and make it look a wee bit more sort of complete and finished. Right, come on, in you go. Struggling to get these hinges in here. There we go. And then this clips on here as before, and that clips in there with difficulty. There we are. And then just a wee bit of sort of, I have a couple of plates here, where are they from? Tiles rather. I've missed a couple of tiles. Where have I missed the tiles from? I see. Oh dear. I think they were meant to go down in here. I might be able to sneak them in. No chance. We'll have to break this again. There we go. That should be enough to squeeze the tiles in. I did wonder, there's quite a big. Oh, there's another pieces shouldn't be left over. Where have I missed that from? Oh dear, I'm not doing too good here. Where'd that go? Right, you're gonna have to bear with me here. I've made mistakes, and it's not proven as easy to put right as I thought. I'm just gonna take them off completely for now. I've also missed another piece, so I just need to see if I can work out where that goes. Please don't be anywhere that isn't easy to fix. Oh, hold on. There it is. It's not so bad, that's easy. So we got the floor was missing. Dismantling this whole thing here. Build and rebuild, that's the process, isn't it? Okay, that goes like so, and that goes like so. I don't know what the best way to do this is to sort of get these to line up properly. If it's sitting like that, then hopefully. Right. We're back in business. We're back in business. Okay, that's those wee bits finished or fixed. So just a wee bit of external detailing to do here then on the side of the building. It's just a wee bit of pipe work. Let's just give it a little bit of interest. We're using all sorts of elements. So we've got paint rollers. We have lightsaber hilts, and we have needles. All of the above, just a little bit of interest and detail on the back. That goes like so, and that goes like so. This wee bit's not super secure, it's just kind of one of the wee wedge plates just sitting in here, but it's only wedged in from, it's only connected on one side, and it's not a big fan of staying in place. Right, there we go. I think that's us now. Yeah, we're done. So I'll clear up these square pieces, and then I'll just set this little section on them. So it goes this way. So that's just a wee bit of pipe work I was doing there on the side. towards the end, so you can just kind of see there just those few random elements then that created just that wee bit of detail up the side. And then if we just pop that in place, hold on, not like here, it is meant to overhang. I don't really like that. Yeah, just funny wee shape on the side there. It does overhang by, it overhangs the hut on the top, overhangs the hut on the bottom by a stud. And it leaves a wee bit of an offset at the front here on this wee sort of angled corner bit as well, but it's not the end of the world. But just almost doesn't really look complete. Okay, on the bag number 9 now. So we'll definitely get this layer finished today, but I'm not sure if we'll get much more beyond that. There's a lot of parts in this bag. And our next minifigure, whom I believe is Christina, and she has a green figure on her torso, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that is Lloyd. But as a complete Ninjago novice, I have no idea if that is indeed the case. So, if there are any Ninjago fans on the stream there, please do let me know if I am right. I'll bring it over to the camera in a second so you can have a slightly better look at it. I'd like to see the figure in a wee bit more detail as well. Not a huge amount of detail. Oh, okay, clues on the back. So here we go. This is our latest minifigure. So this is a girl. She's got a wee winky face there on one side, and you see that lovely wee hoodie with Lloyd's head and mask on the front, and then on the rear where it actually says Lloyd. So that kind of give it away. And then I've just got like a wee sort of cheeky side grin there, and then she has lovely side parted blonde hair, kind of bob length, looking good. And that's Christina. Just pop Christina there for now. I give the minifigures a home whenever I've kind of got to the end of this level. I don't really know much about Ninjago. I don't know any of the stories, so I don't really know how the minifigures will interact with one another, or you know where they would maybe be found within this particular scene. So I'll hopefully get some interaction from the instructions as we progress through them. But for now, they can just stand at the front of the desk and kind of look good. Okay, where is this piece? There we go. Got some nice wee flowers and stuff going down now, so I don't know if this is maybe like a little flower shop or something on this side. This contraption, some sort of interesting little piece of equipment or something here. I don't know what this is. squeaky. Bear stuff. You're in my stream. Don't quite understand that last bit. I presume you're in a previous stream of mine, right? Another plate in there. Okay, I don't know exactly what this is going to be just yet, but looks like maybe some sort of a shop or something. Typically, I have that in the wrong place, and not been the easiest piece to get back ready. Put in my separator here. There you go. What did I miss on this? This. You. Quite a bit of detail going into this little build. We're just building up the walls here now on the side. We've got a window going into this section as well. I'll just stick that in now before I build it up too much more. So that's quite neat. So basically we're using one of these, we're one at least, potentially two of these fence pieces, along with some curved slopes, and so the way that's been built, there's some happy stuff's been placed on the outside, and when you put the slope in, it actually gives the impression of curtains. Curtains that have been pulled back. And that just clips in there. And then I presume you'll mirror that on the other side. And then that just creates a nice finish on the inside of that window there. I'll bring it up to the camera in a wee second, but you have a closer look at it once I've done both sides. There you can see just this wee sideways building technique. So it's just got bricks and plates down the side here, and then these are the wee the brackets that they're like sort of T-shaped, and they have obviously studs here, anti-studs here, and then they are smooth on this side, and then they have anti-studs here, which then means we can attach these nice fence elements in sideways, and then on the inside on the other. So if I take that off, well, I can't actually, it's not that easy, but you can see there we've got these slopes then in to the underside of these brackets, and then that just creates that nice little curtain idea anyway. So it's nice finish, nice detail, and nice part usage. And now we just have some wee bits and pieces in that's at the top. These kind of like wee toys or something perhaps. I don't know specifically what this one would be, but there's a couple of wee ones here that look like boats. This chair is absolutely driving me potty. Real creaky. I might have to get some WD-40 out. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure exactly what this is attempting to be, but it kind of looks like little boats or something. I don't know. Could be completely wrong. Oh yeah, it looks like a kid's bedroom. So again, there's more stickers going on here. It's the lava lamp, I like that. So it's just using the sort of lacquered silver sort of goblet piece, and then the little sort of purple, and it's kind of got like the wee dashes through it, cone, and it creates like a nice wee, I'll show you here, a nice wee like lava lamp. I think it's pretty interesting. Just sparkling in the light there, and then so this is actually a bed that we're building, and we have like a dagger underneath the bed. So somebody obviously is a bit apprehensive about who might be coming into their house at night. There's presumably a kid's room, because there are toys on shelves. There's a little toy box there, and then we've got a wee toy car on the ground as well. And then sort of based on the actual bedding itself, it's very much kiddie bedding, but in my iteration of this build, it's going to be just a plain green bed clothing. Just where the little hinge section is, we have just a few more wee sort of hints toward toys and stuff like that. It's just a wee bit of shelving area with a few bits and pieces on it. There's nothing overly exciting or interesting to be honest with you, but that's no brick. section up the side there. So for such a small room, there is quite a bit of sort of interesting detail within it. Again, the actual size, it is sort of sitting on at the minute it's 8 by 11 in terms of studdage. Obviously walls are taking up, you know, a stud to go around. So there's not an enormous amount of floor space in these little units, but there's still a fairly good amount of detail, all things considered. Placing lots of wee jumpers on here just helps you create that nice inset sort of window and window ledge. So the jumper is placed on the stud basically. So there's essentially jumper's obviously 2 studs wide, but it has like 3 basically anti-studs on the underside of it, so you can place it either on the front of a stud, on the back of a stud, or in the middle. So it sits in the middle, and it just gives you that nice wee sort of half stud overlap front and back, which allows you just to create nice little window ledges and stuff like that. And then obviously the stud on the top of the jumper remains in the centre, so it still sort of retains that stud alignment the whole way along, you know, for when it comes to placing stuff on top. So I presume there's going to be windows go in there. Like I said, it just helps you create a nice little ledge on the inside and on the outside. Yeah, I've got some windows here. There's 2 more windows to go in at some point as well. I'm just putting the actual panes into them now because it's just sometimes easier to do all at once. This one will go in there. There we go. So yeah, the windows then will just pop into place. One wee bit to do in between first. There is another. There's meant to be another sticker on the inside of this little section between the windows, but as of before, I'm going to leave that out. It just looks like a poster of some description. Let's have a look. Sticker number 9. Yeah, visit Ninjago City. It's like a cool sort of neon style poster. Just goes on this 2x4 plate, but I am not putting it on. That goes in there. And my windows go in here, and then the jumpers then go back on top of the windows. And that just gives you that nice wee sort of top and bottom ledge. And then that also brings you back to sort of one plate height from where you want to be. So then you can just run a plate along the top to hold it all in place. Bring everything up to the same level. And then that will align with the studs either side as well. This big boy over right up the top. Hold it all together. Just do a sort of plate work then around the top of it then. We'll just hold everything together as well, and then that just gives you that attachment point for the buildings above without them being sort of held locked on, you know, to too many studs. Just makes it easier then to, you know, place a building on top and sort of remove it as well without it getting stuck on. nice wee sign here. So this would have been the first of the translucent stickers. So again, it's just a cool wee Ninjago poster. But again, for now, I'm just going to leave it. This is one that I kind of feel like I should put on because it's interesting. It creates a wee bit of sort of visual appeal to the outside of the building. It's going to look a bit naff without it because it's just going to be that little sort of trans blue sort of flag piece, if you know what I mean. So it looks a bit naff without the sticker on, but it is what it is. I'm not for changing that at this point. What do you guys think? Do you think, should I put the stickers on? You think, will I regret not putting them on now if there's a chance I may do it at some point? I'm just hoping that I don't have to do anything drastic, you know, to the actual set in the future to put the stickers on if I do want to. That would be a bit of an annoyance, I suppose, if in order to replace some of the stickers I had to dismantle bits and pieces. But internal ones, those are all fairly accessible. Any of the other ones I think so far have been fairly accessible. To be honest, these aren't big builds. They're all sort of very small modules. They're not hard to take apart and put back together if you so wish. You know, I don't think it's going to be a major problem. I couldn't really give you a good reason as for why I do it, to be honest. I actually started with Ninjago City Docks. I bought it pre-owned. It had previously been built, but it was reverse built back into the bags prior to being sent out to me. It didn't have any of the stickers on, and I kind of just liked it as it was, and I kept it that way. Now my Ninjago City set, the stickers are all on it. You know, so it's neoned up the eyeballs with all sorts of crazy signage and banners and stickers and all sorts, you know, and it does look the part, to be fair. But I've started doing this with a lot of sets now, where I don't know if it's in my head, I'm thinking maybe at some point I'm going to want to move the set on, and if the stickers aren't placed, then the set's not necessarily more valuable, but anyone buying it, you know, won't be initially concerned about sticker placement, you know, so it just probably makes it a wee bit more appealing. But I don't know if that's just a silly way to think about things. Right, so we just got a little awning going on the side of this building then. And then we just have to do our wee angle piece to the side now, and that'll be another little section done. And then I don't know how much more I'm going to do today. I don't fancy sort of hanging around too long today. Maybe crack open one more bag, we'll see. We'll sort of see how we get on. I haven't really made as much progress today as I would like. It's been quite a slow build for me, to be honest. Maybe just testament to the sort of level of detail in the set. To be fair, there's a lot going on. Also, just the colours in this section, it's not that they're necessarily difficult or anything, but the dark brown doesn't translate terribly well on the instructions. So sometimes just requires a wee bit more attention to make sure that you're placing things accordingly. Guys, anyone just joining, thank you very much first and foremost. I hope you stick around for a wee bit, but we're building Ninjago City Gardens set. So it's the third in the Ninjago City line, so it's a beast of a set. $5,500 pieces. So we're a good chunk of the way through it at the minute. But yeah, do drop us a wee thumbs up or double tap up that screen, whatever device you're on, just, you know, give the stream a wee bit of help. I'd really appreciate it. If you do fancy sort of seeing this build through with me, I will be streaming again on Friday evening. So obviously you can sub to the channel and hit that bell icon, and you'll obviously see them or get a notification whenever I'm going live again. If that doesn't interest you, then that's fine. But give us a wee thumbs up anyway. It's a pretty fantastic set, and like I said, the level of detail on it is second to none. So it's definitely one that if you're even remotely invested in, you're going to want to see how it progresses. You can see we're sort of getting up a wee bit now, that we're getting a bit more verticality. There's another sort of 2 full layers on top of this, and one of them has like a pretty hefty tower. So it really does look the part. Definitely something to stay tuned for. Well, there are pieces left over again here, and my suspicions are those pieces should have been used already, but hopefully not. Okay, so we're back into this funny little pile of tools here, and we're actually using a circular saw element placed in underneath one of the little sort of plate style elements with a gemstone underneath it to create a pretty modern and interesting looking light. Really interesting part uses there. I love, I messed a piece off. I love whenever they use just random stuff like that circular saw element being used as kind of the mount and the body of a light. It's pretty good. Yeah, I have missed these pieces again. Why do I keep doing this? I think they're meant to go in the roof section. I don't really get where. Let's go back and have a look. What have I missed? No, they're definitely not there. Oh, they're on the other side. Oh, of course they are. I see it now. Right, that's easy fixed. Hi Sarah, how are you? Hope you're good. Thanks for joining the chat. Right, let's get this on then. So we just get this on the side here, and then attaches to the hinges on the other side. I'm doing really good. I'm doing good, thank you. You could argue I'm just chilling as well, given that I'm just sat here building Lego on a, what day is this? It's Wednesday, isn't it? I'm not usually off on a Wednesday, but I had to sort of switch my working week around a wee bit this week to allow someone else a bit of time off, so I'm a bit thrown. But yeah, Wednesday afternoon building Lego, it's not the worst, is it? I have another piece here that I suspect I shouldn't have 2 of. I think I know where it goes. I think that goes up here. Just kind of building this on the fly at this point. But actually pay attention. If I pay attention on my way through, then I would actually put the pieces in whenever they're called for, rather than sort of having to chase around afterward, trying to work out where best pieces go. Okay, so this places this way then. Set that down. So then we've got quite an overhang here. Just make sure we get that on right. There we go. Oh, that looks good. Epic. Yeah, there's a significant overhang on this side, but I kind of like it. It's nice. This is actually still level 1. We've got 1, 2, 3 full levels still to go. And it's a lump of a building. We're on to bag number 10 though, so we'll persevere. I think bag 10 will be the last. They're two pretty hefty bags though. So I'll definitely be wrapping it up after these. There's a lot going on here. I think we're probably going to be building the platform that sits just to top the first layer on the ground layer. Sorry, I'll open these bags and then I'll talk. There's a lot of technique in here, just a lot of bricks and pieces in general. We've also got our next minifigure and our first animal. Any doggy lovers out there with a nice sled dog coming up here. Happy hump day, just hit Thursday. Oh, you're on Thursday already. You're a ripping head. Tomorrow will still technically be my hump day because I work Saturdays, so I'm not quite there yet. I've still got a wee bit to go. You ever start to go cross-eyed when you're doing this? Funny enough, no. I just thoroughly enjoy sitting building Lego. I find it so therapeutic, so it doesn't really seem to bother me too much at all. Right, I just need to find this young chap's torso, which is somewhere amongst this pile of bricks. How hard can it be to find a torso? He also has, looks like a little cassette or something that he's turning around with him. I'll find it. Yeah, it's got a wee cassette. But I can't find his torso. What am I doing wrong here, Jake? Oh, there it is. Hiding in with the other minifigure. Okay, I'll put this wee guy together and I'll bring him over and let you have a look. There's nothing terribly exciting about him, and he's only got printing on one side of his face, so the only cereal I kill is a bowl of cereal. There we go. So this is our latest little chap. So he's just got the small non-posable legs. He's carrying like a VCR cassette. He's got that little t-shirt with the kind of beats on it and nice little grey jacket. And then he's got his little smiley face with freckles and a nice blue beanie. And then obviously we've got this cool sled dog here as well. So, and that is Tito. I presume Tito is the name of the young fellow and not the dog. They're pictured together on the box, and the name is there just as an overall, so I don't know. Again, not massively familiar with these characters, so no, I love it. What else would you be doing? You know, it's quite chill. It's good for the head too. It's kind of good to engage the brain a wee bit. You know, sort of following instructions, building all that. Don't really know what I'd be doing as an alternative. On a day like this, I'd probably have to find some sort of job to do around the house, and well, I'd much rather not have to do that. Right, so yeah, we're building up the platform then that sits atop these buildings. So there's quite a bit involved here. There's a lot of bricks and wedges and the like that go in here. So I'm just going to get the pieces I need. It's giving IKEA. What do you mean? This is giving IKEA vibes. No, not at all. You wouldn't struggle. Before you have to exercise. You have to exercise your brain as much as your body. There have been studies that suggest activities like this is good for dementia and the like, you know, so definitely seems like a sensible thing to be doing. That is indeed the case. Now, the one thing I would love to do is listen to music. but I have absolutely no doubt that you get a copyright strike if you did that. I think that would just make the whole experience a wee bit more interesting. But I'm trying to sort of familiarise myself with Biffy Clyro's new album at the minute too, because they're touring soon. So I'd love to be in a position to sit and listen to that, but I can't. You could always do that, that's a fair point. But I sort of enjoy listening and singing along. If it's royalty free, then odds are it's A, like you say, going to be pretty shit, and B, I'm not going to have a clue what any of it is. So, me suspects sitting in silence is the lesser of two evils. I know some people kind of like sneak watch programs and stuff on their streams and things like that, but I know I couldn't concentrate on television or like a series or something and build at the same time. I would be too distracted by one or the other. I don't think I would really get the experience out of either. What time do you stay up to then, sir? Are you like a late bird or anything? Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, something that's just on in the background and you barely notice it. Yeah, the clicking is nice. Like I said, it's therapeutic. It's a fun thing to do. Have you ever encountered any streamers playing music? Like non-royalty free music? I actually do pay all the licenses for my business, but they're only for that premises, unfortunately, so I couldn't even throw that one out. Okay. Oh, you do on your own? You mean would you do the streaming yourself? Or on streams that you've been on? Sorry. I wonder if I just had something sort of really subtly playing in the background. Would anyone even notice? At the end of the day, it's a live stream, and I'm the bulk of the way through the amount of time that I'm going to spend on it anyway. So if anything were to happen now, it wouldn't exactly be the end of the world, would it? It's not like my is huge either. It's not like I'm pushing music out to every Tom, Dick and Harry that's on YouTube. Yeah. Do you know, like, they should just be grateful that there's even interest in the music sometimes. I understand why the laws all exist. Like I said, I have a business, it's a public facing business, and we have to pay hundreds every month, you know, just for the right to stream and play music, and you just accept that is what it is. I own a coffee shop, so it would be a bit of a naff place without music, you know, so I kind of have no choice really. And I'd be bored to it. And again, you can always go down the royalty free option, but the music's rubbish. You know, you're better listening to nothing in most of the cases. Well, it's just kind of unfortunate, isn't it? You know, like for someone like me to pay, you know, the two, like there's two different licenses, and to pay the two, it would just be ludicrous. You know, just to listen to a bit of music while I'm building Lego. Just so happens that I was accidentally streaming in the background, you know what I mean? Or that's my story, I'm sticking by it. Okay. I get that they're all protecting their own interests, and I don't deny that whatsoever. But sometimes I wonder if there's just a little bit more kind of leniency in the whole process. Would there be or if everything was a little bit less expensive, would there be less people trying to circumvent the rules, and would everyone be a little bit better off as a result? I think a lot of people are so ignorant to, that whole side of business as well. People don't really understand how much money, maybe how much of what they spend is going on things like commission. There's a lot of wiggle room in all of those contracts and deals, especially when it comes to television and media. But then people have to make money as well. People have to make a living, don't they? I'm just making sure that I'm doing this right. So we're just okay. That's good. Yeah, so we're just building, just creating that corner section. This is all pretty much Technic built. This just a load of Technic 1x bricks and pins that are kind of holding these different sections together, and then it all just builds up from there. So we just need to, there's a wee corner section here then that we need to plate off, and I expect that'll just hold this slightly more place because there is a wee bit of flex in it at the minute. We'll pop these sections on, and there's a nice rounded corner piece here. And that just pulls that all together. Lovely. that then, I suspect, will sit in some way or another. Like so. It's not really adhering terribly well there at the minute, but I suspect that's kind of roughly how it'll go. It has to sit on top of the tree in this section anyway, so I'll leave it sitting there for the time being while we start working on the next sort of platform section. Yeah, I get particularly sort of concerned on sections like this, you know, where you're just attaching like a. I wonder is there maybe. I don't know if there's something that comes up on this side to add a bit more support, but yeah, whenever you're pressing these bits down, yeah, I totally get it. You do sort of worry that you'll press too hard and everything underneath you just gives. Quarter past, I don't know. We're sort of ratting through these bags. Alright, there's a lot of big pieces here, so it's happening a lot quicker than I thought it would. If I can get through this section quick enough, then I'll perhaps open up a couple more bags and see if I can get a wee bit more done. I'd love to get to the point where I'm building the actual sort of buildings on the next layer. I think that would be really good. This doesn't feel like it's going to be overly secure just yet. A lot of the plate just being sort of haphazardly placed here. Oh, it's rigid enough actually. It wasn't. There's a few wee bits there that have just been held on one side. It's not ideal, but I presume at some point that will come, or will, I don't know. Just like a wee 2x4 plate in there that's only attached at this one side, and just don't like that. I kind of like them to be held on both sides. I think actually this section here will bring us to the end of this, the first construction manual too. This would be nice. Yeah, divine intervention. Sometimes that's the only way to get through these builds, isn't it? Okay, lots of wee funny bits and pieces here, so I just want to make sure that I do this right. What have I done wrong here? Oh no, I'm just, ignore me. Ooh, that's very similar. I knocked over, I have recently built, yes, you too, sir, thank you very much. Good night, Dave. I recently built the Coxie Burger, and when I was doing this build, I knocked it over, knocked the sign over, and a piece fell off, and I haven't been able to find the piece. And I've just spotted this plate here, and it's similar in colour and very similar in design as well, and it just reminded me that that little piece has never turned up. Hopefully it does. Right, we're having a bit of a go slow moment here. There's a couple of plates and I'm just really struggling to find. There's one, there's two, okay. We're back up and on again. It's a wee bit of a messy section. I don't like that particularly, but okay, got a wee blaster here with one of these wee dishes on it, so we're sort of creating a nice little satellite dish. That is nice actually, because there's a little section of the roof there that is just sort of just plate that's kind of sitting open, because the way the sort of angled bricks that were coming across, they just left a few studs in the exterior that were open. But once you put that little satellite dish on, it sort of covers that all up and looks a bit more cohesive. So this then, I'm going to take us back off here for a few minutes. This just clips into the side. Oh, and that's the roof then. That just creates that little roof section. Not the easiest of things to place at the minute. Unless I'm placing it completely wrong. Anyway, I'll just leave it sitting there. And once we get it finished, I presume it will all become a bit more obvious kind of where exactly it needs to be placed to sit on properly, because it's just not really taken too well by the area that I'm trying to put it at the minute. Take this little section off then. So I have noticed as well that this roof here has like a little sort of indentation in it. You know, it sort of drops. So I don't know again if that's going to be another wee funny hidden section. I'm not actually sure if this is a roof on this side yet or not. Kind of presents as a roof, but there's no covering. It doesn't actually cover the building at all. Alright, we've got these sort of really interesting pieces here. They're like tracks from like a skidoo or something like that, and they're being used as like a design element on the front of this building here, which is quite cool. And when they're placed on the building, like so, with those little grills on, they just look like, you know, some architectural detail. you know, you wouldn't sort of discern the fact that it's actually a set of skis from like a vehicle of some description. Okay, we've got a cool wee spaceship or something that we're building here then that looks like it's flying above our young, oh, so that must be that little fella that we just built there, that must be Tito's room. So he's obviously a little Lego fan or a fan of models or spaceship or something. Oh, and that's quite cool. So they actually they're using the blade of an axe as the wings for the spaceship. That goes on like so. And then, right. And then, yeah, so it's just held on with some technical pins, which then sort of gives it the impression of sort of hanging, you know, above the young lad's bedroom. And just it's on one of the sort of loose pins so it can actually, oh, it actually hangs, that's cool. I'll show you this afterwards. So it's like the wee frictionless pins, and then it just hangs below and you can sort of fly it about and stuff. It's quite cool, it's quite a neat little build there. Nice little spaceship. Right, everyone that's just joined in, thank you very much for stopping by. We're just getting to working on one of the big Ninjago city sets, Ninjago City Gardens. So we're a good bit of the way through it, enjoying the build so far. Almost finished up on today's stream, but if you have just joined by, do drop us a wee like, if you'd be so kind on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, we're just going to do like a little bit of sort of design work around the sort of top side of this platform here. So it's just some railings to go on. The railings do have banners which should have stickers on, but as with before, I will not be placing the stickers on. The stickers themselves, let's see if we can work out what they are. So I think they were all 62 and 63. Alright, I don't really know what they are. They all look like they're sort of advertisements or something like that. One of them is writing, but I'm not translating the writing right here right now because frankly I can't be bothered, but I'll have a look at that at another point. I do want to get this kind of finished up as soon as I can. Hooks that we put on the outside. It makes it a wee bit safer. So we've just got sort of rinse and repeat here for a little bit with these. quite a few sort of barriers that have to go around the outside. Otherwise it would be a wee bit unsafe. I'm just going to stick all the studs on in here for now. And then we just need to... So again, I'm not putting any of these stickers on, and probably getting a bit boring me saying this over and over again, but I will potentially come back in the future at some point and apply stickers. I don't know. I haven't quite decided if I'm gonna or not. It does look a bit naff without, to be fair, because it's just doesn't really mean anything. The stickers do add a lot of detail. Sort of gives these barriers, you know, some sort of functionality. You know, they're not just for protecting; they're also advertising. But I, for now, would prefer to keep them sticker free. And then, like I said, down the line, if I say I want to add stickers in, then I always can. A very fancy section going on the end here, using one of these lovely icicle pieces and then one of these large hats, and then these kind of lily pads, but they're in like they're sort of lacquered gold, creating a really interesting looking design on the outside of this. Clips onto that side. That's so good. And we've got one more wee advertisement. Goes, oh, it's going over there. And it goes right over the edge here. And then here we've just got another slight variation. So there's a wee bit of variation on these now. The advertising on this side, on the barriers, are just all slightly different. I'm actually using some little sort of blank controllers to add a wee bit of design on this side. Just like we sort of joypads. And then that goes out over the top. And again, there should be a sticker on that, but you know the score by now. There's just two more to go, I think. The last one then is the corner one, which I presume will be decorated slightly differently. Opposed to like wee sort of train wheels here and sort of black skeleton body, so I'm intrigued to see how they're going to be used. So this is taking a lot longer, this little section than anticipated. But it's just lots of little figurine bits. corner. Right, and then just the last few wee elements then that need to go on. So it's just a wee bit of decoration then for this corner section. Those are the lacquered gold elements. That goes in there. Oh wow, this is quite an interesting little contraption going in the corner here. So now we're going to create our little black skeleton men here. I don't know if these are some sort of city protectors or something that are kind of sitting over the corner above the tree. We've got these fantastic gold armors on as well. And that goes onto the sides. Alrighty. Oh, don't know the way around, have I? Of course I have. It's not the most sort of stable or structural, but it looks really cool. So I'll show you a wee bit closer. So this is kind of the wee sort of design then that is going on this front corner piece here. So you can see from behind it uses these skeleton sort of torsos in black. And then these lacquer gold, kind of like the dual sword carriers and shoulder pads. And just creates a really sort of interesting sort of design piece for the corner. And then I think all we've left is just 5 wee lights then that need to go in. We'll just do the lights here. That goes through, and that goes up in. And then that will probably wrap me up for today's stream. What I will do though before I go off is I'll bring the camera down to the table. I'll sort of get this all sort of properly in place, and make sure that this platform is on correctly. And I'll bring the camera down and just give you a wee quick overview of the build so far. So I just need to pop these on. There they go. So let me move these pieces out of the way. So that actually brings to the end the first instruction manual as well. So that's us approximately a third of the way through the build. So now we just need to place replace this. So that's suggesting that goes in to the middle one, and then that's got to come over to about there, so that needs to come out a wee bit like that. Right, I think that's us now. I think that's it placed. Yeah, that's us on. Now that is all designed to come off, to lift off. I think it's actually meant, it's designed to lift off as an entire layer. I'll have we play around with that tonight. I'll just make sure that I have that all on correctly, because it wasn't necessarily a struggle to get it on, but it just didn't feel 100% natural. But that's the end of the first instruction manual anyway, so I'm going to pop it over out of the way. And that's some good progress. And like I said, I'll bring the camera down to the table then, and I'll let you have a wee look at this in a bit more detail. I haven't put any of these minifigures yet, they're all kind of still just stomping down here in a wee crowd, but I'll get them all placed off camera at some point. Kind of have them all sort of in each layer as we're going, but just bear with me, I'll grab the camera. Okay. So, this is kind of how it looks then from the front view on. So we'll just give you a nice sort of profile right out around. So obviously we've got these two little lovebirds here, just sitting enjoying a nice little chat underneath the tree, just down by the river. This is the platform then that we built previously. And obviously we did this layer here today on this platform, on this section here in the platform. So I'll take you around the other side just so you can see that in a wee bit more detail. So here we have just into each of these little areas then, so you can see this chap down here doing his thing in the his little hut in the underside. We have this little unit in here then, so that's like a little balcony section. There is a little area in there, it's like a wee waiting room and stuff like that. And then we built this little room in here as well then, so it's like a little kid's bedroom. There you can see the toys, and you've got the spaceship hanging up above as well. So that's kind of where we're up to anyway. It's pretty neat build so far. And yeah, hey Cheeseman, how you doing? You've sort of arrived right at the end of the stream, but thanks nonetheless. Remember folks, give us a wee thumbs up if you have joined in, if you have joined the stream and you're enjoying it at all, or have enjoyed it. And do drop us a wee sub if you want to sort of stay up to date with this build. I will be continuing to build it on Friday evening, 7:30 UK time, and yeah, I'll if you wanna obviously stay up to date with progress on that, then drop us a wee sub and hit that bell icon, and you get that wee notification then when we do go live again. But for now, I'm going to leave you and wish you all a lovely afternoon, and I'm going to call it an afternoon. So thank you again. Catch you all later, folks. See yous.